1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Say what again?
Probably a suit.
I know I'll never be an ordinary kid.
Augie, if they stare, let them stare.
People don't like to touch me because they think I'm contagious.
He's a freak. Never seen anything that ugly in my life.
Could've let the world decide all of the things that I can or can't do.
You are not ugly, and anyone who cares to know you will see that.
Welcome to Infocus. Wonder is a story about Augie, who's a 10-year-old boy played by Jacob Tremblay, who you might remember from Room. He has a rare condition that has caused him to have 27 different surgeries to keep him alive, but also makes him look very different to regular kids. He's been sheltered away by his parents, Julia Roberts and Owen Wilson, and at the age of 10 they've decided it's about time that he hits the public school system, which of course causes bullying and emotional turmoil and also love and friendship for Augie. This is a film that really hit me pretty emotionally hard. So Timsy, I've got two questions for you. One, did you cry? And two, how much did you cry? Because if you tell me that you did not cry, you are lying.
Yeah, no, man, I did shed a tear, particularly when the ending came around, which really worked for me. It was a very emotional film, I think, all round, and it did work.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Absolutely. This is a film that it does turn on the waterworks. Like it is manipulative. Like it is certainly angling to try and get you to cry. But boy, God, did I cry!
Yeah, which means it works, man. It does work. And yeah, some of those moments get a little too sappy for me, but there are some great moments which I thought were, very organic. Not too manipulative. That's a hard word to say. But I take one of the early scenes in the film, which is the dinner scene with the family. Yeah. And just how it works and the bond, that all the family members have.
One thing for me that I loved was the casting, and that scene really illustrated it well. Jacob Tremblay is a guy from Room who has proven that he's a very talented young man.
Oh, he's gifted, man.
He can narrate a film. He can carry a film's emotional weight,
which he needs to. I mean, the whole film really relies on him and his performance. Boy, does he sell it. I think he's got a huge future.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't go the Haley Joel Osment route and sort of, stack on the pounds. And, hopefully he sticks true to the path, because he's a talent. Julia Roberts, I'm not usually a huge fan of her, but she has a lot of emotional range here. Owen Wilson, I thought, was cast perfectly for his role as the sort of funny, caring dad.
Yeah, he's the cool dad. The one that plays video games with the kids and stuff and just hangs out, And Owen and Julia have great chemistry together. Yeah,
definitely. There is a couple of times, as we talked about, where it is definitely forcing these perfect people on you at times. The perfect dad, Owen Wilson, he's got barely any flaws. But the person that I definitely connected to the most was Via, who is the older sister of Augie. She's a 16-year-old, and I'm a person who has grown up with my brother, who has a disability. He's got autism, and for me, watching this film, and particularly that scene you spoke about at the dinner table, there's a part where Owen Wilson talks about, is that going to happen? No. And the dog does the no because it's following the food. Yeah. It's quite a funny moment. Yeah. And then Via, everyone else has left the table because they're worried about Augie. They're always worried about Augie.
Yeah.
And as a sibling, you know that. You know that you're not the one that everyone's focusing on. You are the one that has to hold the fort. You have to be more mature than for your age. You have to be caring. And she has this moment with the dog and says, are they, am I invisible? And, yes. And at that moment, I completely lost it. Yeah. I completely lost it because you do feel invisible. This movie taps into emotions that exist for people. This is a movie that yes, it has its false moments. It does ring false occasionally. There
Yeah.
are contrived, grandstanding moments, but there are moments, and Via has about 10 or 15 minutes of this film that she owns, and it absolutely spoke exactly straight to my soul.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to grow up and you love your sibling like there's no tomorrow. You absolutely adore them, and there's this feeling you're almost like a parent. You know, you love them unconditionally, but part of you hates them.
Yeah.
You know, and part of you just wishes they were normal and wishes that everything was going to be okay and that you just get to live like every other kid, but you don't. You've got a different mission in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this movie really grappled with Via, who's, you know, she's 16. She wants to be with boys and have a social life and all that.
She doesn't have any of that.
And she doesn't have any of that because, and it's hard. You've got to pick the right person to be friends with or to bring home and meet the family, because if you bring the wrong person home, it's going to devastate your sibling.
Sure.
Absolutely. These are all things that are so true, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I almost feel bad now for talking about Via in perhaps a slightly negative way.
Sorry. I'm almost like crying.
Yeah,
here.
I know, man. It's like, I really can't say anything bad about her now. I found her a little inconsistent because there's a scene where she says, before Augie has his first day at school, and she gives him moments of encouragement, and then later on says, "Oh, it's not all about you, Augie," and things like that. And that's the problem, given the name of the film, as it is about Augie.
Yeah.
I felt from a narrative perspective, it's just a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
But a great performance, and I can kind of see why you gravitated towards her. I just had a lot of problems with her storyline. I just felt it took up too much time in the film. It's really Augie's story, and I think we were really afforded an opportunity for Augie and his friends, and more backstory with them, the bully and things like that. I felt that could have been explored a little bit more and cut back a little bit on Via's storyline.
Yes, I mean, and you're right, it is an uneven performance, but sometimes that's actually life.
Yeah.
In that role in your life,
Yeah.
sometimes you want to give that person a hug, and sometimes you want to punch them in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's complicated.
And that's probably hard for someone to she probably doesn't have a sibling like that, so for her to portray that is probably difficult for her as well. She's a young actress herself.
Yeah.
But man, I was able to just completely implant myself.
Yeah, I think it was a good performance though. I just think the way she was sort of written, the way the screenplay sort of plays out, if it had just been just a little tighter, it would have been great.
The thing that I'm picking up with our conversation is that people that have this life experience probably are going to see a lot of themselves in this movie. They are the ones that are going to make the strongest connection to it. Apart from that, it's a film for people that just love a good tearjerker and stuff like that. A big uplifting story.
Sure.
And I'm sure you probably had elements of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It works. As an emotional film, it definitely is accessible, for lots of different people from different backgrounds. I just felt when it goes into Via narrating the storyline, and then it goes into Via's friend narration, I'm like, dude, what's next? The dog? Like, are we going to get some narration?
I actually half expected the dog. I honestly did. That's how the book is written, though. It's written in like, everyone sort of has their chapter,
right? Which I think works
which
better
is part
in
of
the
the
book.
story.
Yeah.
So on Pure Cinema, on the hot or not scale, Wonder ended up with 65% hot, which is, I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3.5 stars.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm on 3.5. I think it's a great film for families during the holiday season to go and check it out.
Get the pizza.
Look at me, Augie. That kid sounds like a real jerk. If someone pushes you, you push back. Don't be afraid of anyone.
Why are we whispering?
Because I'm afraid of Mom. You just gotta be a bigger person and rise above it. It's that easy.
So Timsy and I have managed to navigate our way through the tearjerker that is Wonder. Have you? If you haven't, please go to your local cinema and support them and make sure you see this movie. But if you have already seen it, please comment your thoughts, good or bad. We can take it.
Absolutely, we love hearing from you guys. So comment down below, like, subscribe, all that really cool stuff. Until next time, guys, click subscribe and get in focus.